If you follow this system, you'll lose 15 to 60 plus pounds. I've been able to lose over 80 pounds and keep it off for a decade now. And I struggle with being overweight till my 20s. And if I had to start all over again with the knowledge that I have now, this is exactly how I would do it to save me years of struggle. And it worked for me. It also works for my online clients, so I'm sure that it's gonna work for you as well. I'm breaking everything down, so make sure you take notes. And if you can't take notes right now because you're washing dishes or driving, just make sure you save this video so you can refer back to it later when you need it. So without further ado, let's hop right into it with setting expectations and how you can measure to see if you're progressing successfully or not. We lose motivation when we feel like we aren't making any progress on our goals when we're working so hard. And when I first started trying to lose weight, the only thing that I would hyper focus on was the number on the scale. And that meant that when it went down, I was super happy and I was excited about myself. I felt good about myself. But when it went up or stayed the same, I felt like I was, working my butt off for no results. I felt like all the hard work was for nothing and that I was doing something wrong, or, I would think to myself, what's the point? If that sounds like you, then you are meant to be watching this video right now, because you need to understand weight fluctuations are a normal part of losing weight. And you're gonna have them. I did a whole video explaining what impacts your weight and why you don't have to worry about it. I'll leave that link down in the description for you to watch after this one. So with that being said, we need other ways to measure to see if we're making progress on our goals or not. So on top of body weight, I want you to take progress photos at least every other week and take body measurements once a month. And when you look at all of these things together, you'll start to get a better sense of how you're doing. I give you an example. This client right here weighs the same amount on the scale, but the progress photos tell a totally different story, right? She was actually shocked when we first compared her progress photos. Now, this client right here actually gained weight on the scale, but clearly has lost body fat. And based on her body measurements, has built muscle, specifically in her glutes and her legs, which is exactly what we were targeting. And if you don't have a tape measure, I'll leave one link down in the description for you to check out. It's cheap, it's on Amazon, you can go pick that up. Now with that being said, your body weight is still gonna give you a really good idea of how you're progressing week to week. And to deal with the normal day-to-day weight fluctuations, I want you to weigh in every single day, and instead of looking the day-to-day, compare your weekly averages. So to do that, just add up all of the weights for the week and then divide that by the number of days that you weighed in. And that's going to give you your weekly average. And as long as that number is trending down, you're making the progress that you want. Now, how much weight should you be losing per week? And a sustainable and safe rate of loss per week is going to be 0.5% to 1% of your total body weight per week. And I know numbers. Trust me, I'm not a numbers guy at all. So these are pretty simple. Just 0.5% to 1% of your total body weight. That's a good number to shoot for. So now that we have the foundations, we set the expectations, let's cover our nutrition. So to figure out how many calories you should be eating to lose weight, just take your goal body weight and multiply that by 10 to 12. I would start with 12 and see how you're progressing after 4 weeks. The reason why I say after 4 weeks is because in the beginning, you're going to be dropping the most amount of weight the fastest, because you're getting rid of water weight and you're eating less food. So you'll have less food in your digestive system in general. And after that time, you should get a better sense of your actual fat loss, right? So after that 3 to 4 week mark. And if you're losing at a rate faster than the 0.5% to 1% of your total body weight after the 4 weeks, I would just bump your calories up by 200, see how it goes, check your rate of loss, and use that to measure. And at this point of the video, if you're starting to just feel overwhelmed or this is too much work and you think you would do best having someone else figure all of this out for you so you can just follow a laid out plan, you can apply for coaching in the first link in the description. Now let's set up your workouts and your activity. Now this is gonna be different for everyone, but the main forms of activity that will help you lose weight the best long term is gonna be strength training and walking. All right, let's cover your strength training first. You're going to be doing some form of resistance training 1 to 3 times a week. And you don't really need to do more than that, especially if you're a beginner or intermediate to lifting. Now, the goal as you're getting started is to just be consistent. That's it. It's not about optimizing your workouts or making sure you have a perfect plan. Everything you do should be done to get you into the habit of going every single week. Now, once you get into the flow of things, you can always add to it. But for right now, I want you to just build your confidence in yourself and your ability to make this change. Because the way you build confidence is by keeping the promises that you make to yourself. And now I was the biggest offender of killing my own self-confidence because I would say, oh, I'm going to the gym 6 days a week. And I would start off really strong, but eventually fall off and stop going for months at a time. And I was just doing too much. Every time I fell off, I was embarrassed and I felt worse about myself. That's what fed into my thinking that this weight loss journey was just impossible for me. And so when I set out to do things that were more realistic, I went twice a week, and then 3 times, and then 4. And I slowly built it up over time. And that's why weight loss isn't just about, physiology or biology. A lot of it is psychology. It's understanding human behavior and why we do things and why we don't do things. And I would actually argue that a lot of the weight loss issues we have isn't about science. It's about our thoughts and our beliefs about who we are and how we approach our health. It's actually such a mind-blowing thing once you start to make these realizations for yourself. And hopefully you learn from me in all my wasted years and make these realizations so much quicker. Now that we have how many days we're going to be working out, what do we actually do at the gym or during our workouts? We're going to be focusing on doing a full body workout. And there's a lot of different ways that we can split up our training program, especially to prioritize certain muscle groups that we want to build and sculpt. Like I found women typically want to grow their butt, flatten their stomach, and then tone their bat wing. That's just too much for the sake of what we're doing here in this video. So let me know if you want to cover anything specific in future videos. Now, let's just simplify everything. What we're gonna do is focus on 4 big movement patterns that we do throughout our day-to-day life, which are a squat, a hip hinge, a push, and a pull movement. You'll squat when you get out of a chair. You'll hinge your hips when you pick up your kids or pets off the floor. You'll push to put a box on a shelf. And you'll pull to move a couch. So you're not only losing body fat and getting stronger, but you're also getting more functional. You're being more capable in your body. All you're gonna do is pick one exercise from each group and perform that for 3 sets of 12 reps with a 1.5 to 2 minute rest in between each set. Now, if you want a full breakdown of a program that's easy to follow, that includes demo videos and multiple movements to just pick and choose from that you can do at home or in the gym, you can download my Getting Back Into Workout Blueprint, which is a 1-page system that gives you everything you need to get started. This will be in the second link in the description. Okay, so what about walking? The way you approach this will be dependent on you. You can either set a mileage goal to walk, or you can set a daily step target, right? There's pros and cons for both. If you would rather be conscious about hitting your step goal throughout the day by parking a little bit further or getting up and walking a bit more, then a step goal would be right for you. Now, I would recommend starting anywhere from 7,000 to 9,000 steps per day. Again, you can always add on, but realistically, I don't think you would intentionally need to hit more than 10,000 steps a day. Like, that's plenty. But if you don't want to have that in the back of your mind all day, and you would rather just know, okay, I need to go do a walk for that day, it can ease some of the mental burden a bit, so you're not thinking about your steps throughout the day. I would start by doing a daily 1 to 2 mile walk. Again, start with how much you can consistently do with your life and with your schedule, because you can always add on top of it. Okay, so now let's talk about the stuff that isn't glamorous, but still very important: sleep and hydration. You want a surefire way to make your weight loss journey so much harder? Don't focus on improving how much sleep you get and how good your sleep quality is. It lowers your energy, your willpower, kicks up your hunger and your cravings. A lot of times it's not that we lack willpower, we are just not setting ourselves up for success. So shoot to get 7 to 9 hours of good sleep. And to do this, go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. And yes, even on weekends, try to be within 1 hour or so, right? Our body loves the routine. That consistency will help you get better sleep. And if you can't sleep, get off your phone and set up your environment for relaxation. So that means no stimulating your mind with social media or thriller movies, and dim your lights, like prepare your body to get some rest. Make your environment relaxing. As for hydration, if you have headaches all the time and are dealing with dry skin, brain fog, low energy, drink some water. If you need to put some meal flavoring or something like that, that's fine. Just do it. Aim to get at least 80 ounces to a gallon. And if you're thinking, oh man, I'm just gonna have to get up to pee a lot, that's a plus. All of those bathroom trips are gonna add to your step goal now. That's a double whammy. But really, start hydrating because it's so important for your overall health, especially for things like your blood pressure and your heart health. All right, now you have a whole system, including your eating, your activity, and some of the lifestyle stuff we just talked about, your sleep and your hydration. But if you're the type of person who just needs a plan and someone to keep you accountable, go to the first link in the description to apply to see if working together would be a good fit. And also, everything that I mentioned in this video will be linked down in the description. YouTube thinks you might like this video as well, so check it out. I'll see you there.